Hello! Yesterday, I asked a bunch of people to fill out a form. That form had 10 men on it, and everyone was asked to say whether they thought these men were natural, aka natty, or not. The results surprised me, but we're gonna get into this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you a little bit about who this person is and what they do, and we're going to look at the results and you will find out whether you were correct. So follow along with me. First, Jon Jones. Jon Jones is a UFC lightweight and heavyweight champion. He is a mixed martial artist, better known for his crimes sometimes. And 80.6% of you said that Jon Jones is natural. That is not correct. Jon Jones is not natural. He has dodged tests multiple times. Other fighters that have also been on steroids have been beaten by him in a way that definitely suggests he was also on steroids. Genetics take a part in how strong you are and how physically good you are in a fight, but you can't be on the type of roids that some of these guys that Jon fought were on and not be on drugs yourself. So Jon Jones, not natty. Number 2, Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels is a power lifter. He is now a streamer. 91.7% of you said that he is not natural. Not much to say here. He is not natural. Number 3, Jesse James West. I'll call him a bodybuilder because he did compete in a bodybuilding show and win it. He's also mainly known for being a YouTuber and like being kind of a fitness influencer. 63.9% of you said that Jesse James West is not natural. This is untrue. Jesse James West is natural. A lot of these guys that are natural will have pictures of themselves from when they were like 15, 14. You can tell genetically, Jesse James West is very geared towards like having a very good physique. Number 4, Sam Sulek, another like fitness influencer, bodybuilder. He recently won his IFBB Pro card a little while ago. 94.4% of you said that he's not natural, and that is correct. He is not natural. He's over like 240 pounds of straight lean man. Like you don't get that big without gear. That one was pretty obvious. Number 5, Will Tennyson. Will Tennyson is another fitness influencer, YouTuber, bodybuilder, also won a bodybuilding show of his own that he competed in. 58.3% of you said that he's not natural. Will Tennyson is natural. He's been lifting for over 10 years, which is a very reasonable amount of time for someone to get in as good a physical shape as he's gotten in over time. Number 7, this one is my favorite because it surprised me the most. Jeff Nippard, another bodybuilding YouTuber. I'm pretty sure he's won multiple bodybuilding competitions, and 61.1% of you said that he was natural, and that is correct. Jeff Nippard is in fact natty. His natty status has been called into question a good couple of times just because of how big and how lean he is, but again, genetics are crazy. And speaking of crazy genetics, number 8, Brody Shreds, aka Brody Falgost. I'm just gonna assume that's how you say it. Fitness influencer, bodybuilder, content creator. You can see a theme of who I've kind of chosen to pick here. 69.4% of you said that he is not natural. Brody Shreds is a lifetime natty, just insanely good genetics for getting as big and jacked as he is. Some people are like 1 in 1,000 genetics. I'd argue that his genetics are maybe 1 in a million. Number 8, Andrei Smayev, content creator. I guess that's what you could call him. 72.2% of you said that he is not natural, and you would all be correct. You don't get that big, and I feel like have that frame without gear being involved. I'm pretty sure he said himself that he takes whatever cycle he's on. Number 9, Mitchell Hooper. Mitchell Hooper is a strongman competitor, won the World's Strongest Man a good couple of times, preaches lifting heavy and being kind to others. That's his brand, lift heavy, be kind. 69.4% of you said that he is natural, and you are correct. Mitchell Hooper is natural. And last but not least, Eddie Hall. Eddie is another strongman competitor, also won World's Strongest Man multiple times. Very widely regarded as one of the top 3 like strongest men to ever walk the face of the earth. 57.1% of you said that Eddie Hall is natural. This is not true. Eddie Hall is not natural. 50% of you say that you exercise several times a week, which I thought was interesting. Most of you, 41% of you, said that you basically barely engage with any fitness content. A lot more of you, around 16 of you, which is like around 44% of you, get like a fair amount of fitness content on your feeds. A total of 5 said that you get fitness content pretty regularly or basically all the time. 61% of you did not know who these people were. Of those of you that did, you guys either knew all of them or at least like 1 or 2. The 2 most recognized people in this survey were Jeff Nippard and Sam Sulek, which I thought was very, very interesting. Even if you knew these guys, 80% of you who knew these people did not know the natty status of these people that we were talking about. On to the reason that I did this in the first place. So my family had been getting into like being fit and trying to get lean. And whenever my mom sent us stuff, she'd be like, oh, look at this guy. He claims to have been working out for like this amount of time and he's natural. And I'll look at him and he's like this mass monster. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, there's no way this person could possibly be natural. And then I'll see people that do look natural and my mom's like, no, that's like a big giant bodybuilder on gear. My mom is not necessarily the poster person for knowing who's natural and who's not. She's not super into fitness. She mostly does it because me and my father are into it. But it did start to make me wonder how many people, if they looked at someone that was into fitness, would be able to tell if that person was on gear or not. This isn't to say that there's a need to know in any type of circumstance, but I do think it's important to be able to make that kind of distinction if you're trying to get lean or if you're trying to get jacked or whatever, so that you have a slightly more realistic expectation of what you can potentially look like if you want to end up competing for a bodybuilding show one day, or just you want to reach the full limits of what your natural potential is. And so I think it's important to be able to at least recognize when someone may or may not be on gear, which is why I did this in the first place. This is pseudoscience. This doesn't mean anything. These results don't mean anything. This was not proper science. I just asked people a bunch of questions. But what I do find interesting is that of the people that see fitness content on their feeds the most, the scores were higher, yes, but the scores weren't consistently super high. It was like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 5 out of 10 again. So like, yes, some people did better, but also those people that did better also knew who these people were and knew what their natural status was. So otherwise, everyone kind of topped out between like 4 and 7. The actual like majority score was 5 out of 10, which is pretty good, and I also think is very interesting because I was expecting it to be a lot lower. I was expecting it to be like maybe 2 or 3, but that people thought that like everyone was a natty, but that wasn't necessarily the case. People have a lot better discernment than I guess I thought, which isn't to say that I didn't believe anybody, but I just know that when I started getting into fitness, I was under the impression that a lot more people were natural than I thought. I also ended up going on the complete other end where like I thought everyone was on gear, but that was just because I was jealous. The main question that I wanted to answer was, do people that interact with more fitness content have a better discernment of who is natural and who is not? And the reality is, according to this, not really. It doesn't seem like that. Again, this is not proper science, so it's hard to tell, but it really doesn't seem that way. It seems like the average person can tell, like within a degree of accuracy, who's natural and who isn't. Like the amount of fitness content you consume doesn't matter. I also checked on frequency of exercise. The amount you exercise does not matter either. Very fun results. I thought this was super interesting. I was very impressed by what the results were. A score of straight up 50% is very interesting. But yeah, this was fun. This was a fun experiment. Thank you to those that participated. The women are next, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks. Bye.